Hey guys, it's Ashley Anderson, and I'm going to be talking about my research topic, which is parental alcoholism. So to start off, I have some objectives basically listing what I will be talking about in this presentation. So first, to discuss what alcoholism is and how to identify it. Second, to show why the children of alcoholics are at risk to face difficulties in life. Third, to discuss potential problems that they may face. Fourth, to discuss whether or not alcoholism affects communication between parent and child. And lastly, to discuss whether or not gender is a factor in the effects. Now I'm going to give an introduction on alcoholism. By definition, alcoholism is a chronic disorder characterized by the dependence on alcohol, the repeated excessive use of alcoholic beverages, and the decreased ability to function socially and vocationally, in other words, in society and at work. Alcoholism is detrimental not only to the alcoholic themselves, but to others as well. Approximately 1 in every 12 people in the United States suffer from the disease. Now on to a couple of the causes of alcoholism. Not all of them are listed here, but these are a few of the main ones. The first is genes. Studies have shown that those with a history of alcoholism in their families are more likely to acquire the disease than those who do not. Second is peer drinking. If one has friends that drink on a consistent basis, this person will be more likely to indulge in the same drinking behaviors. Lastly is mental illness. Those who suffer from a mental illness may be inclined to use alcohol to relieve some of their symptoms. Now onto a couple of the signs of alcoholism. The first is mood swings, so someone quickly shifting from one mood to another. The second is frequent aggression or arguments, which is someone becoming angered easily or flying off the handle without explanation. Lastly is isolation, which may include someone frequently excusing themselves from family conversation or family gatherings and such. There are 3 main reasons as to why the children of alcoholics are more likely to develop problems. The first is the inconsistent and unpredictable home life they have. Second, expectations aren't always clear. And third, everything is subject to change. Situations are always changing in an alcoholic household, so one minute everything will be fine and at peace, but the next chaos will arise, even over the most simple of conflicts. Now on to a couple of the problems that the children of alcoholics face. The first is trust issues. Promises may be made to the child by their alcoholic parent and are consistently broken. This leads to the child becoming weary of other people, less likely to open up, and less likely to trust others. The second is communication difficulties, which is kind of self-explanatory. The child will have difficulty expressing themselves to others. The third is poor conflict resolution skills. Sometimes a child will relent and give in to the parents' demands just to avoid conflict. And lastly, this only applies to some cases, but a child may experience difficulty with anger management. If their parent is aggressive or hostile when drunk, the child may exhibit and struggle with those same tendencies. Now on to whether or not alcoholism affects communication. It does, in fact, affect the way a parent and child may communicate. Alcohol can cause a person to become very aggressive, so therefore others may be less likely to interact with this person when they are like that. This may also tie into the fact that alcoholic households are unpredictable. Changing expectations may make a child feel anger or frustration toward their parent, which therefore places strain on their relationship. Now on to whether gender is a factor. Studies have shown that gender has very little effect when it comes down to the gender of the child. but there is a difference between paternal and maternal alcoholism. Starting with maternal alcoholism, it's not as common and there was very limited research available, but usually maternal alcoholism results in mild psychological effects. This is possibly due to the fact that mothers are supposed to nurture and take care of their child, and alcoholism may disrupt that. Now onto paternal alcoholism. It is definitely much more common and more disruptive than maternal alcoholism. It produces moderate psychological effects. This is possibly due to the fact that men are more likely to show their anger and aggression than women are, and therefore leads to more severe effects. So that's the end of my presentation. A brief conclusion. Alcoholism is detrimental to everyone close to a person who suffers from the disease. Second, having an alcoholic parent affects the way a child functions in adult life. And lastly, not all children will develop problems, but they are much more likely to do so with an alcoholic parent. I just want to say thank you for watching my presentation, and I hope that you guys now have a better understanding of the disease and its effects on children.